that place where I.
Oh, that's so sweet. Dhanavad Leelamoy Prabhu and Chintamani and Jaidev and Priyanana.
Govinda, Govinda.
Good morning, obeisances, Maharaj.
Obeisances. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chintamani, thanks for hosting this Praneshwari Lili. Here, here, as the British say. Here, here. And Priyanana with obeisances and a question mark. And I never know what the question marks are. I know there's something good. Chintamani, more obeisances and some stars. Leelamoy Prabhu, Dandavat, Radha Sundari, Devi Dasi, Dandavat. And Jagannath Puri temple, by the looks of it, on my small screen with no specs. But I think it's Jagannath. Yes, must be Jagannath temple.
Yes, Maharaj, it is.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we're 1 minute in. Oh yes. So just a minute in, we can expect some devotees to join us. And in the meantime, that's my other little friend, electric friend here. Let's see what he says. Krishna, Krishna. Well, oh, is it on Facebook? I'll have to refresh the page, perhaps.
Yes, Dhanavad from Michael Madhava.
Okay, very good. Dandavat to you, Michael Madhava. And Madhava Prabhu, you are very regular. We're always happy to have you with us. And each of you, Rupanuga Prabhu, also very regular. When you can, you are with us. And you are active. And it's possible that Paramananda is on the plane or arriving in Japan, if I'm not mistaken.
He will join us. He will join us because we just came from Bhakti Yoga for All.
Oh, okay. I know he's, okay, then there we are. So he'll join us, good. All right. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurataje Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vas Adi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Govinda Govinda.
I
So
smiled with joy, Maharaj, because you reminded me of the kids in Bhakti Yoga for kids. Because when
okay, well,
they recited just like that with so much intention.
then I smile with joy if you remind me of the kids. Oh, if I remind you of the kids. Okay, who would like to see the new center in Limerick in Western Ireland?
All of us.
Okay. Can you see?
Yes, yes.
Uh-oh, wrong
It's a
picture.
castle. It's a
It's the
castle.
wrong picture. It's the next one. This is the new center. And we have to step back a bit really to be able to show more. But it's a townhouse. But that's where the previous picture, look at that. That's a castle in Tipperary, maybe. Very famous castle. And then this is a new place.
So beautiful.
Anyway, it may not be a castle, but it is ours. It is a purchased building, and we know Gurudev will be very happy. The devotees in Limerick have purchased it, and it is entirely a center. It's not a residence or somebody's house, which also is fine when it is like that, but it is actually a dedicated center, and it's brought the devotees together for renovating it. And Devashifu was here with Srila Janardhan Maharaj, I don't know, a month and maybe a month ago, something like that. He was here quite recently. And he said how much work they've done also since that time. And when they first got it, none of the rooms were livable in. And now all the rooms have been redone, plastered, and the whole place feels so like pure. Actually, the whole place feels pure, we can say. And credit goes, of course, to each devotee individually, but to Gopeshwar Prabhu, and he's Srila Prabhupada's disciple. He joined maybe the same week, within a few days, maybe the same week as Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj. And so they know each other from the United States of America since long ago. And he moved to Limerick. I don't know the year, and unfortunately, it's a bit early in the morning to go to inquire from him. It's a bit early for him, for the devotees. So anyway, he purchased it. And yesterday evening, here he was giving a little history about, sorry, he didn't purchase it. He came to Limerick, and from his coming to Limerick, then many devotees have come, attracted, well, by him, but by his presentation of Srila Prabhupada, of whom he's a disciple since 1971. And Srila Prabhupada, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, of whom he took shelter, Srila Gurudev, of whom he took shelter, and he knows like so many devotees, so many life history in his life. And by one person coming to Limerick at that time with his wife and family, and then basically Limerick has flourished as far as devotional service goes. And he was mentioning last night that since coming to Limerick and chanting Hare Krishna, then Limerick has changed from being a city which had the name, believe it or not, Stab City, for all the violence and murders and stabbings that took place. It was called Stab City. And he said within 10 years of devotees chanting Hare Krishna here, the whole environment of Limerick changed. And now it's a gentle, small town where everybody helps everybody else. And yesterday, the devotees were sharing their experiences of like the personal nature of the town, including Madhurananda Prabhu, who's come here from Italy, Devashish who's come, and 2 Ukrainians, devotees, who we know for so many years from the Veda Life festivals, and they from somewhere heard I was here and heard we were having a little gathering here, and they came from, they're both living in different places, so they came from different places in Ireland, and they came here, and each of them sort of had just within the previous 24 hours, like experience of the friendliness of the people. And we're here, and also one of the devotees, you know, devotees wear kantimala neck beads. That's all that kantimala means. Kanta means neck, and mala means beads. And then they're walking in the street, and just about to go into a shop, and then one man says, "Oh, are you Hare Krishna devotees?" And then they brought them here back to the center and talked. So anyway, lots of happy experience here. Why I was showing you the picture is because when there is a center, and Gurudev did like that devotees can, where possible, you know, come together and have a center as much as possible. And he did like that. And we see that having a center brings everyone together with some unified like project and seva purpose. And they are also telling about how the neighbors, the next door neighbor, you know, and again, you know, devotees do make a bit of noise, but the next door neighbor did, I forget what they did because they were listing all the things that they were doing, but came in and helped with something with the renovation, this, that, and the other. So it is very promising to see the good nature of people come out when they're in the association of good people. So anyway, we're in Limerick, and one of the back to basics is devotees coming together and coming together to serve happily, to use whatever energy they have, to use that happily. And we have in our mission good cooks, and we always think wherever we are, we've got the best cooks here, okay? Well, we've got some very good cooks in Limerick. And yesterday we were transported to India, no doubt, by the cooking of one lady, Veena, Indian bodied lady. I don't know her whole history, but very good cooking. And she cooked for everybody. She didn't want, oh, she had helpers for cutting and things like this, but she cooked for everyone. Anyway, just a little reflection coming from here to start us off in our back to basics with the basis of Sādhu-saṅga, coming together. And today Jayadev Prabhu is driving and Rupanuga Prabhu is sitting down, not driving today. Just see. Jayadev Prabhu, drive safely. I'm seeing where you are. The trees are green, the grass is green. Look, maybe if I do, I can't pin them, so I can't see if it's larger or not. Huh? Yeah, we know the color of the road. The sky is blue. Okay, yes, please, you watch the road, don't worry. Okay, another little thing, coming to Italy, coming to Ireland, by the way, is really, Ireland is known as the Emerald Isle. And if English isn't your first language, emerald is a very vivid color of green. And really, especially coming from Italy and from England, where both places, the grass is brown. Teach the children what color is grass. Grass is brown, okay? Because of the drought and heat and whatever else, which I'm sure is in the news, because everyone says, oh, it's the driest summer on record or something like that. Anyway, there it's all brown, but coming to Ireland, everything is very green and emerald green. When the sun shines on that like well-watered grass, you can say, it is looking very good. And another thing about Ireland is cows and livestock, they're out in the fields, which in Italy, you almost, you know, you do see it, but in a very, very limited way. And in England, well, we didn't travel enough to notice it, and they don't have many cows in London. But coming out into Italy, to Ireland, when we crossed Ireland, and which was the day before yesterday, when we crossed Ireland from east to west to come here, then everywhere we see livestock, we see cows and nice grass, and we think that's what they're meant to be doing, not tied up in a shed all their life and having the tractors going out and collecting the food and bringing to them. So it's nice to see that, okay, we know why they're being farmed, but at least in their life, they've got a decent life outside. So a little bit of like refreshment to see nature running like that. All right, so here we are. My beginning theme is that of having a center brings devotees together. And we see that repeatedly wherever we are. And we see that here in Limerick. And we are very encouraged to see the enthusiasm of not initiated devotees, just well-wishers, as well as the new devotees, as well as the established devotees, and as well as Gopeshwar Prabhu, who really does need a special mention. If he wasn't here, nobody would know about the continuation of Krishna consciousness. That continuation, as you all know, coming from Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. And even in the time of Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, very not only instrumental, as Gurudev said, he was the teacher of Srila Prabhupada. So anyhow, this is our Krishna consciousness news from Limerick today, 28th of August, 2022. And by the way, today we're having a festival. Ah, yes, every day is a festival in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math for those who participate. So today we're having a festival plus, because today we actually have devotees from quite a few places have come together and flown in especially, and that includes from Hungary, we have Garadha Pandit Prabhu. From Italy, we have Madhurananda Prabhu. And from London, we have Devashish Prabhu. And we have our two Ukrainians, okay, who didn't fly in especially, but they did come on extensive bus. Each of them from different places came on extensive bus journeys to come here and then find a place. I saw them wandering the street trying to understand what are the numbers, which I also get puzzled with street numbers sometimes. You know, how is it the very street number you want, always it like it goes, if you want number 17, it always seems to go, 1, 3, 5, 7 like this, okay, down, then you get to 15, and then the next one you find is 21. What happened to 17 and 19? And then they're hidden somewhere. So anyway, they made it here, as well as the devotees from different places. So let me be silent for a moment or two, and I can ask to Praneshwari Devidasi. I know there was something pending, but that was from Narad, who's not with us.
It was from Purushottam Prabhu, but he is not here. So I prefer for when he comes, because he sent also an image connected to his question. So it's better for him to be here.
Okay, sure. And by the way, I have news from Purushottam Prabhu that he's able to confirm he's got his ticket. So that's kind of confirmation. He's going to come for the Thailand festival at Kartik. So we'll be meeting him, Praneshwari Didi, and those who are able to come will be meeting him in person. And he's going to come to Italy for a little while before that. And so he's a mountain man. So let's see what will be in our short time together then before he comes. But he can only come for 1 month in all. So he's coming to Italy, then coming to Thailand. So some news from Purushottam Prabhu in his absence. And will we be seeing Rupa Vilas Prabhu?
Yes, Rupa Vilas Prabhu was in Bhakti Yoga for All, and
But
he wants to say something.
he does. Okay.
Yes.
He looks surprised that he wants to say something. Does he know? And Rupa Vilasru.
He knows from Bhakti Yoga for All that he was going to be invited to say something.
Okay, beautiful. And will we be seeing you in Thailand, Rupa Vilasru? Is that a yes? Just turn on your microphone. Click.
Yes, I'm coming over on October 10th. Most probably.
Okay,
Tentatively, yes.
very good.
With your
Happy.
blessings, it will come.
With my good wishes, blessings from
Yes.
upstairs.
Yes. Well, first of all, I would like to offer my Dandavat pranams to each and everyone. Before I forget, before I say anything. Yes, I did attended this class with Pramananda Prabhu this morning, and something came up. Actually, this been on my mind for quite some time. You know, it is really indeed very, very fortunate for all of us to be on the line of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Guru Dev. You know, and it is about great fortune that a lot of devotees are also with us, trying to help us on our way. But on the absence of our Guru Deva, I saw that Goswami Maharaj, his lectures really, should I say, in tune with the times. You know, he gives so much commentaries, explanations according to what is the present condition. And I find it really very, should I say, so much work. Now, a few days ago, while I was chanting, this idea came up. Why don't we just try to, anyone, anyone among us, translate, transcribe, and put them into books, these teachings? No, this is a good opportunity for others to hear his explanations. And I also notice a lot of missions from other math, they're using the words of Srila Gurudev. They mix it up with their own. And then, I have my respect with them, but the most acceptable for me is the commentaries, the explanations of Goswami Maharaj, and of course you, Maharaj. Now that is it's more of a pleading, a prayer to all of you that why don't you? You're intelligent. You have the capacity. You can do that. You can put that we can translate that, transcribe, and then put it into books. So others will be benefited. No? And that's my pleading. Actually, a pleading. Forgive me
Jai.
for
Yes, yes, Rupa Vilasru. And you are not the first to think that, including ourselves. I mean, think this, if we can let more and more devotees hear this, see this, then they must be benefited. And as we speak, well, maybe not exactly as we speak, because it is night, but we do have a devotee who is transcribing his talks. So I do not know exactly where that is going, but we can expect in due course of time that those transcripts will make their way into organized books. And some of these are classic. I mean, you know that. Some of Goswami Maharaj's talks are classic on particular days, on any day. But I mean, especially we can say, on particular days we want to talk about, for instance, recently Srila Prabhupada's appearance. And I'm sad, actually, until today, that I couldn't, because of circumstance, I couldn't hear the whole thing. I caught only the last part of it. And I've been waiting, and still yesterday going back to try to find that talk of Goswami Maharaj. But you see, sometimes the devotees are busy and they don't get posted even on the web afterwards. So we lose that opportunity. And I was like specifically eager to hear Goswami Maharaj. He's always fresh talk about Srila Prabhupada on his appearance day. So if any of you have a secret way of revealing them, and actually I did sort of kick myself a little bit, because often I do record just in a very, you can say, funky way. Everyone knows what that means. In a very, like a primitive way, I put the phone beside the computer and I leave the computer talking to itself. And this way, I do record quite often when I know I won't be there. But that day I was actually using the computer, so I couldn't record it as such. And then we missed it. So, so in due course of the years, then so many wonderful lectures are there. And as I say, some truly they're classic. They're like the authoritative lecture on, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, this on a particular day. Yes, Rupa Vilas Prabhu, as the British say, hear, hear. And also I can say, I know that there are some of them, the lectures, maybe not all, not keeping up, but there are translated into Italian and into Portuguese, I believe. And who I'm thinking of right now is, I know that Chaitanya Moidevirasi, who knows good Brazilian Portuguese. I know the Portuguese don't agree that that's Portuguese. But anyway, she knows Brazilian Portuguese and she knows Italian. And I know she's translating some of these. And I don't know where they go or which ones they are. Maybe Leela Moy knows if that's happening. Leela Moy Prabhu. He's there in, no, he's shaking his head in Brazil. Good. Rupa Vilas Prabhu, you have put into sound vibration in the ether all over the world. Your voice has come. So from this, let us see, from that seed, what will come out. Yes. Turn on your microphone. Don't forget to turn on your microphone.
Yeah. One more thing before I forgot. I've been reading Sri Gaudiya Darshan, the back issues then, and it was really stopped. So why don't we also try to revive it through the internet, a kind of internet magazine. Everyone can contribute writings from you. Devasis can do that also, Prabhu. And Pramananda, maybe add something. And of course, Goswami Maharaj, and from the teachings of our Guru Vargas, internet way.
Yes, that is also good. And who made the last of the Gaudiya Darshan magazines was Devashish Prabhu.
Devashish Prabhu.
He made those ones in color and very beautifully. And he's right here also. And he also was saying, and he retired recently, by the way, but hasn't told his mother. How can someone 60 years old, they've retired, very like India, where they're like afraid of their mother. He's afraid to tell his mother he's retired. She's going to say, how are you going to make your money and everything else? So now he's actually got a little time. And so this is how he's here in Ireland, because before, you know what it's like when you're working, you're very much, you have to do your responsible duty. And he used to work for the British government, don't forget. So he had to be responsible. But now the British government have released him from his service, and he's actually retired. But I thought it was so funny. David, you should tell your mother, what's the problem? Oh, my mother will be unhappy with me. She thinks I should be earning. He's 60 years old. That is Bengali, I got to say. Doesn't matter how old you are. You always want to hear from your mum and please your mum and not displease her. Wouldn't it be wonderful if the whole world was like that? Hare Krishna. I know somebody else who probably is like that, Maha Mantra Prabhu. I'm not sure who his mother is, but he's a good soul. I mean, really, he's a good soul. We were together in Navadip and we had this opportunity, you know, most of you know, I think, was this time last week, we were with him in London, and he's timeless. He's not changed in the last few years.
Maharaj, and he spoke so sweetly about you. He said, it was just like no time has passed. It was, Maharaj, in Navadip, exactly the same.
Well, it was Maha Mantra in Navadip, exactly the same. So I can agree with him too. No time has passed. Hare Krishna. Yes, Rupa Vilas Prabhu, may your spoken words which have come into the ether worldwide have fruit. Hare Krishna. Yes, dear devotees, Seva Rupa Devi Rasi wants to say something, I know. She also has that expression on her face.
Dandavats, Maharaj, Dandavats, dear devotees. I think when you're chatting about all the devotees coming together and how sweet it is in an island and London, and I experienced that in Italy. And as you're mentioning that Devashish Prabhu also used to work, and I was just, I mean, how it is to transition when you get back, and you know, all the practices that you've been engaged in, and it really does feel like you're on a spiritual journey when you with the devotees and when you in that temple environment, the ashram, and your whole days just so sweet with everybody, everything's flowing, you know, there is you do have things to do, you kept busy continuously, but it's just such a sweet feeling. You want to wake up and, you know, get to see everybody, receive prasadam with everybody and help out. And so it is quite, I'm still trying to transition back into the working world, the day-to-day. Very difficult to do, and you know, try and still keep my whatever I can and bring with me to try and do that day to day, but somehow the time just goes, and you know, yeah, it's very different. So that's currently what I'm experiencing.
Jai. Well, you know, when we were in Italy, then Hari Gopal Prabhu, that young 21-year-old from Latvia, so he, as you know, he came, when he first came to Italy, then he's coming to Italy, then he is, oh, we're going to go to London. So he bought a ticket to London, and you know, we weren't on the same flight because of the price changes of the tickets, but he came to London, we're together in London. And when I left London, he was due to leave the next morning to go back to Latvia. And anyway, then we came from London, Devashifu and myself, we were taking the same flight. We came here to Ireland. And so this was a few days ago. And then in the evening when we got here, we're signing in and, you know, sending messages back to London, say, we got here safely, and, you know, here we are. And there's Hari Gopal Prabhu. He threw away his plane ticket and said, why am I going back to Latvia? I'm going to stay here in the temple. So anyhow, that's a little bit of news, how he decided not to adjust to going back to his life, but he's 21 years old and he doesn't have like those family responsibilities. And really, when it is possible to spend some time in the temple on a longer basis, why not? And you see, all of us know, as time goes on, so many commitments come. And then, you know, have not only family commitments, but the job commitments, the renting the house commitments, the payments on this, that, and that. I mean, so many things come up. So that when there is that window in the younger age, then why not throw away that ticket? And he told me it was my fault. And I said, what do you mean it's my fault? He said, because I made a comment the day before. This is the day before. So he hadn't been meditating on it for like weeks or something. The day before, I made some comment that what is more valuable, hearing Hare Katar every day or a plane ticket back to Latvia? And then he said, so he blamed me, and he said, well, you asked me the question, and then I understood. What's more valuable is being in Hare Katar every day. So I threw away the plane ticket. And it was one of these tickets, you can't, Ryanair in Europe, you can't change the ticket or anything. You don't fly, that's it, okay. So anyway, we're very happy to hear that. So everybody, he's 21 years old, and he needs some mercy from the Vaishnavas to be a good 21-year-old and not a naughty 21-year-old. And he is a good 21-year-old. You can tell. Why else would he stay in the temple? So we are happy for that. So
Maharaj,
instead of yeah.
Sorry.
Over to you. Yes.
Sorry. I was going to ask if you asked about Kaushalya.
Oh,
His
yes.
little sister.
Yes, we know Kaushalya, his little sister. Well, she's enjoying being a beautiful teenager. So what can we say? She's a devotee, but she's at the moment, with her teenage friends. So she's doing okay. And his mum came. I don't think Sevarupa met his mum. Or did you? She was there for maybe three nights or 3 or 4 days with us in Vila Govinda. And she took it as an opportunity to come to Italy, and then she wanted to travel. Italy is a very attractive country for a lot of people because of all the murders and things that took place with the Romans. They think that's wonderful. But no, it's got lots of old buildings, which I was quite happy with until I heard about mostly they're associated with some terrible things in the past, which remind us, that it is Kali Yuga, and it's been Kali Yuga for a while, and it's going to be Kali Yuga for a long while more. Just a little bit of news, but that's the good news, because in Kali Yuga we have the holy name plus. Okay. So anyway, Kaushalya, I'm sure she remembers us all, and I did see her. I do see her when we go there in person to Latvia. I may see her soon, because after here, I'm going to be in London and then in Latvia, so we may see her. And the devotee is always a devotee, just a bit, maybe there's a lot of peer pressure. We know it. We've been around recently. We've been around, the school children age. I know they don't want to be called children when they've become 15, 16, 17 years old, but young adults, whatever it is they want to be called, age at school. There's a lot of peer pressure, but they're devotees within, no doubt. So we met Kaushalya, and she stayed with us, and she was very happy on Harinam Sankirtan. Everybody is happy on Harinam Sankirtan, even though they may not look it. Bhima Krishna, who is not with us today, but when we were on Harinam Sankirtan, we were repeatedly kind of nudging him in the ribs. He would carry the banner, but somehow he looked so sad when he said, Prabhu, do you know the process is chant Hare Krishna and be happy? And he said, yes, I know. But he's happy inside. He's a good Vaishnava. He doesn't want to show his happy feelings outside. He says, okay, it's my feeling. Bhima Krishna, we remember you. We'll have to shout very loud because he's not on the Zoom. Yes, Sripad Dandi Maharaj joined us, and I did give my respect like this so I wouldn't have to fast for the day. I gave my respect like this when I saw our sannyasi joining us today. Dandavats Maharaj. And what news from the front? the preaching front, I mean the Hare Krishna presenting to the world front. Dandi Maharaj, a word or two from you, a word or two from you, kindly. Turn on your micro, yes.
Maharaj, Dandavat. No. Yes.
Dandavat.
Yes, it's actually front of sweetness and harmony and love. So maybe very few devotees, and they are new devotees, but they are very sincere. They very interested in our acharyas, and very preaching is very simple, I would say. Very simple. Like this is Guru Maharaj, this is Govinda Maharaj, this is our books, this is our mat, this is our devotees. So please hear our devotees, so please follow our program. We have no even song books here, so we have started to print, to publish on the paper our songs, so, because we have not, and I order in Russia, but this order by some or other, I don't know why, but this order was I have not received it. It's stay somewhere in Romania. I don't know. I don't know why. So we have to print a songbook, and I try to train our devotees. Just follow our program, morning program and evening program. Just sing the songs, so to learn the songs.
This is, by the way, Maharaj is giving news from Moldova.
Yes.
Okay, you're all going to get out your Google Maps now and find where is Moldova.
It's a little country beside Ukraine, close to Ukraine, but common boundary with Ukraine, Moldova. Actually, it was Hungary several centuries ago. It was Hungary territory. Yeah. Romanian territory. Then now it's Moldova territory.
Krishna's territory, and man claims some power and puts a name on it.
Yes, very few devotees. They are very sweet, young people. But they do not maybe know practically anything, but they hear your lectures, and Bhakti Lalita lectures, and Gurudev lectures. They have some appreciation for this lectures for holy name of Krishna, Gauranga, Nityananda. So it's a gold time of spiritual life. When you are a beginner, it's gold time of your spiritual life. And childhood, your spiritual childhood. And so a little envy to the devotees, because so much sincerity, and everything is new, everything is fresh. So it's gold time in spiritual life now. And one devotee is practically 60 years old. 60 years old. He is so mature man.
So do you mean he's young or he's very old? What do you think?
Yeah, so Nava But yes, he's young in his heart. Very young. Very nice devotee. He's very serious. Well, he's 60 years old. and he was in ISKCON program maybe 7 years. He visited ISKCON temple and follow ISKCON program, change in Java, but maybe 7 years. It's very serious.
Please give all of them encouragement. And we began today actually mentioning about how one devotee came here, Gopeshwar Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's disciple, came here to Limerick. And from that one devotee, then Krishna consciousness, and especially Guru Maharaj, Gurudev Sri Chaitanya Saraswati consciousness, along with Srila Prabhupada's books and teaching. This now is kind of known almost by everybody in this small town of Limerick. And so now you are one person, you've gone to Moldova, a remote corner of the world. I think Gurudev may even add that part, quoting Guru Maharaj. You've gone to Moldova now, from one person going to Moldova, then now so many people hearing and getting a connection. There's plenty of room in the world for sharing Krishna consciousness, dear devotees. And here is evidence. Maharaj, one person going there and infecting the people with good infection for their bright future. Yes, Maharaj.
So this nice people and nice country. So preaching here needs, of course, some organization. But I have no ability to organize something maybe serious here. But still, people are good. They are very spiritual, inclining people. So many here. It's not so rich country and not so many material opportunities maybe for people. Every day people every day in the morning people are coming into the park and they jump in the park, play some sports, running in the park, and on evening also, like in China, Thailand also, where people like to sports, to train themselves. It's like it's not so rich country. They actually people like to do some exercises, morning exercises, evening exercises in the park. And life is very simple here. People are good, simple people. Maybe not great philosophers, but very good in their hearts. Not so complicated culture here. Not like in Ukraine. Not so complicated. People like heart to heart. They like this style. Just come and speak and chant prayers, offering some very simple prasadam. Even I was surprised in ISKCON Navahata here, they actually arrange namahatas without prasadam because not so much money. So they just come, they just hear and change them. So, and maybe they drink some tea, I don't know. But that's all. That's no prasadam, and still people are coming. And, they have namahatas maybe twice a week. So many people can just hear and study books of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. And in this ISKCON temple, they pay for prasadam. This is not free. It's of course donation style, but still they insist that you have to pay. I understand this because actually not so many opportunities, material opportunities, maybe to maintain. It's very difficult to maintain. So,
And
this
earlier you pointed out about how maybe you even said, oh, you envy the people, or whatever the word was, about the newcomers. We remember, and we actually want to have that same mood that we have when everything is new, and we come and we hear about Krishna consciousness, about Bhagavad Gita, about those who are practicing real spiritual life. And that is a good point for us all, not to take for granted what we've got. That freshness and what brought us into the Krishna consciousness, thinking and understanding that potential that is there, that freshness we should always keep with us. Yesterday evening, the evening program here in Limerick, in the news center here, they have a large picture of the Panchatattva, and it was right in front of me as we're doing chanting and talking the Harikatha, and I was reminded of the back to course, not the back to course, the very original back to course that I joined. And there it was Croom Court, which doesn't exist anymore in England, a place specifically for like cultivation of newcomers, etc. And there the deities were the Panchatattva, means Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhar, Srivas, and Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, heading all the devotees. But the Panchatattva were the deities. And as actually, I was remembering yesterday too about how, yes, we used to do all the arati, everything was to the large Panchatattva, as this is a large picture. And remembering those early days, we must. Jai Maharaj, many thanks for your news, devotional news from the preaching front. Jai Shripad Dandi Maharaj.
Ванчика, который ще Крипасилку п'є Ейча. Вачитанам Паваніп'yo Вайшнавіп'yo Намо Намаха. Actually, by your mercy, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Any volunteer? Actually, Paramanand who's joined us, and he's sitting in the passenger seat. Oh, well, he could be in Thailand or Japan, because both countries drive on the left. Yes, Paramanand Prabhu.
Maharaj, still in Thailand, but leaving for Japan shortly. Well, somehow, by the way, did Rupa Vilas Prabhu say something?
He did.
Yes.
Okay, just because we stopped. He was about to say something and then we ran out of time this morning. It was to be continued in BBBC, so I'm very happy to hear that he actually said that.
Okay, we'll fill you in on the good proposals, the seeds being sown for something good. We'll fill you in on that presently, Prabhu. Yes.
And somehow we also touched the subject about how newcomers, which is also a relative term. I mean, newcomers this life, but may not be a newcomer considering their past life. That is hard to say, how they're getting extra mercy from Krishna. And we also pointed out that if we are fortunate enough to avoid Vaishnava aparat, that freshness will always follow us, and it will ever increase the freshness of Krishna consciousness, the freshness of practicing Krishna consciousness. Listening, participating in the programs, listening to the devotees, reading the Shastra, it will remain. But I pointed out that for myself, it was lost. And somehow when I think about the when I was a young devotee, a young brahmachari, how everything was wonderful, fresh and beautiful and inspiring. I can only say it was in the past life. Because due to my offenses to the Vaishnavas, I lost that sincerity, I lost that faith, and I lost that enthusiasm. So
Hare
that was
Krishna.
the subject this morning of our discussion. Good to hear it again. It was brought by Sripadandi Maharaj. And also very inspiring to hear about being in a new place. And really, he was just by the will of the providence. I wonder who is behind the will of providence. He
We
landed
know.
in the land, landed in the land of Moldova. And when I mentioned to you first,
Uh-oh.
Because he's driving. The connection is unstable.
can you hear
Paramanandru,
me?
we lost you for the connection with the will of providence, and then everything went.
Oh, okay. Well, I said who is behind the will of providence? That's another discussion. I am said that Maharaj was Krishna landed him in the country of Moldova that you haven't heard much about. I totally forgot about. And wherever Vaishnav is, what is he going to do? He's going to chant the holy name, and by his presence, by his very presence, he's going to spread Krishna consciousness. It just naturally happens. So sometimes devotee is asking, can you tell us how to preach? Can you give us techniques of preaching? And I remember Madhusudan Maharaj would quite often answer, just be yourself, means just be a devotee. In fact, this is ourselves, the true ourselves. This is our true nature, to be a devotee. So if we are continuing being a devotee, trying to be a devotee, it will attract the attention of others, other Bhagavan Jeev, and then they will flock together. And then Krishna consciousness will spread. But again, sometimes we're thinking about the large scale. It may not happen on a large scale. It doesn't matter. Krishna points that out. He already mentioned that in Bhagavad Gita. Out of millions who knows that I am the source of everything, out of those millions, if there is one who really know who I am, then that's a fortunate soul. But such souls are very rare. Samahatma Sudurlabha. So we're in the search of those souls. We have no goal of converting the whole country or establishing devotee presidents, etc., etc., etc. It's about the quality, not the quantity. And Maharaj has been doing it continuously, steadily, and it's always a joy to see how the community grows. And you just need to kickstart it, we can say.
So Paramanandru, we have a question here that you could give some answer to, with some encouragement to, well, you hear the question and then you see if you can do some magic by your good wishes. And it's from Chandan Kumar, and he's saying, Hare Krishna, why I don't come to Krishna path? Is it my past karma, or am I stupid? Oh dear. So Paramanandru, please help.
Well, I would ask this question myself, Maharaj, and will ask for help too. But to our dear Chandan Kumar, the fact that he is answering, he is asking this question tells me that he is already on the Krishna path. So just keep good association. Keep associating with the devotees, and it will do its magic. And so many Shastras points in that direction. Lava Matra, Sādhu-saṅga, Sarva-siddhi, all perfections can be achieved by a split of a second of association with the real sadhu. Everywhere you go, every guru will hear about Krishna consciousness. They will tell you about importance of associating with the devotees because they possess something we're hankering for. Like today we've been reading about Jiva, where they explain what is Jiva and what is Jiva's inclination, natural inclination. And he's saying that all Jivas are looking for Krishna, they just don't know about it. they didn't formulated it well for themselves. But the fact is, they're all looking for Krishna. They're all looking for love. They're all looking for beauty. So when they meet someone who achieves some success on that path, those people are usually called devotees, and they're usually very eager to share with their achievement and very eager to help others. So the only advice I can have is to keep good association. It's the key to success. Nothing else is necessary. And in that sense, I can tell myself that I'm also stupid by actually ending up here. And Srila Govinda Maharaj says there are two groups of jivas. One of them are eternally liberated, Nitya Siddhi and Nitya Badhu. Nitya Badhu, but there was a point when we got captivated, charmed, enamored by Maya Devi. We thought she is so beautiful, she is so attractive. I think I can master that energy and I can enjoy that energy. And that is the source of all the original stupidity. And that's why we're here. Because we don't want to be stupid, we want to get out of it. That's why we're together. And we're talking about Krishna. We're hearing about Krishna, we're following advice of sadhus, chanting the holy name, trying to do seva. So our Chandan Kumar Prabhu, what else can be said about it? You're already on that path. Just keep that association.
And also by that expression, it does mean you are hankering for that. You want to be a devotee. You want that life of devotion, not of this painful world of exploitation. And Guru Maharaj also, he points out, Gurudev also points out repeatedly in different places, it's if we want it, we can have it. But that waking up of that hankering for Krishna consciousness is going to be our wealth for receiving Krishna consciousness. And Krishna sees our heart. So it must come to be. I can also feel that he's wanting, he's come to association. And actually we are all wanting, but we are all wanting. In English, wanting has two means. We want Krishna consciousness, but we are also wanting in the sense of lacking in some full faith to fully surrender and say, yes, everything is there.
And Maharaj, a beautiful verse always comes in mind when we talk about that. It's from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhu Kabunoi Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Kore Udoi. So Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Kore Udoi, we remember it this morning. By listening, we will see the reality. By listening, those who are the members of that world, who are from that world, who see the reality, they're carrying it with them. So if we just listen to them, serve them, hear them, we will see that reality. It will awaken in our heart. It's already built in. We have that necessity to serve, necessity to worship, necessity to love, to be surrounded by beauty, to surrender to beauty. It's already there. Just need to be awakened.
And that will be awakened by Sādhu-saṅga, as you pointed out. And Guru Maharaj there also points out about the candle. Your candle cannot light itself. It has to be lit by another candle. And similarly, devotion, this devotion, it needs to be lit up inside us in connection with those that have that light, the candle light, the devotional light. Jai. From my side, I'm going to have to bow out actually from our meeting, from our gathering, but we've been here happily and hopefully we've been able to share some good things. And certainly my theme is Sādhu-saṅga. My theme also when we can have somewhere to focus the energy of the devotees, as we see in where we are just now in Limerick with a new center which has brought so many together and completely new people, as well as the devotees who are already established. When we have a center, it is very helpful for the very purpose of Sādhu-saṅga and seva, which is always emphasized by our masters. So many sweet stories, many sweet things. We've also been reading, watching, hearing Srila Prabhupada this week with Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. And always there are treasures which come to the surface, new things all the time. So as you read and hear, as you experience in your life, please follow the example of our dear Dandi Maharaj and share with others, just in a natural way, share with others what is giving us nourishment. When we have food and others are hungry, then we must give food to the hungry. So really the world is hungry, but they don't know it. For Krishna, reality the beautiful. So many food, nourishment comes to us. We must try to share that with others. And for all of you who've been quiet, yes, Seva Devidasya has a quick question.
Just Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj.
Oh dear. You tricked me. Okay, and we thank you for the contribution from each of you, Rupa Vilas, Seva Rupa Diri, and all of you who silently contributed in your presence. And I know that you're there. Bhagavan Prabhu also is with us here, quietly and humbly in the background, our senior devotee here. Jai Shila Gurudev Om Vishnupad Shila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shila Guru Maharaj Shila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. And Jai Shila Prabhupada Shila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And Bhagavan Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai. All our present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai. And Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda, all the unlimited devotees in the world ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Haribo. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
all
much,
very much.
Maharaj.
Let us continue our devotional lives and push out our non-devotional life, and let us meet again very soon. Hare Krishna.
Raj, our dandavats to our Limerick
Thank you.
devotees there, whom we're
To
missing.
Oh, Limerick. Okay. We're having a festival today, Paramananda Prabhu. So,
Take some photos. I'm really curious to see this new property too, with the devotees inside.
with the devotees. Okay, well, we've got photographers. We have, believe it or not, our Indulekha here. So we'll
Wow,
assign her to
nice.
take some photos.
Perfect.
She was in London visiting her brother, her family in London. And then she heard that we're coming to Ireland. She said, oh, can I come too? So, yeah. Well, we checked with the Irish devotees, and then she came. And so she's a happy participant, and they're very happy to have her because she's so active. She just looks and sees what needs to be done and does it. Okay, very good. Dear devotees, Ami Ashchi. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so
Dhanyavad
much,
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Dhanyavad
Thank
Maharaj.
you.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.